All right. We're back. We're back, hoes. Welcome to Spill on the Real.
And we're better. We're not better. We're still stuck inside.
I'm still stuck, but
yeah, welcome to Spill on the Real. I'm Gigi.
I'm Tone. We're trying out something different. You know, we out here on the Zoom. And today we got a room. So yeah, shit. A lot of stuff's going on. And we've talked about it a little bit on our podcast episode about our thoughts and commentary on a lot of the Black Lives Matter stuff. And today we kind of just want to stay on, we kind of want to keep up that momentum, but talk about more like what we're seeing on social media and how like responsive people are being in like a good way and how other people are trying to kind of only be a part of this for like the Blackout Tuesday, like being on and for Black Lives Matter past that, like past the movement. Yeah, a lot of people on social media still posting good stuff, but there's also people that are kind of like getting the TL back to how it was before, and it's annoying.
Yeah, it's just like read a room, and that's what today's topic is called. For those of you who don't know how to. You know, if you're following a lot of people and your timeline is going back to normal, I think it's time to change who you follow, because I see it all over my timeline. So I know I'm following the right people, but I still got that handful of people that are like trying to move on with their lives. And I get that. Like, you should be able to live in the present as well, but also like for you to be able to move on without any concern for the world is privilege in itself.
My gosh, I'm feeling good about all of these cities that are still doing protests every day. Obviously, we're seeing people spread more news about protests, especially like close to us, which I think is cool. And people still like living through and still being very hype about this movement and this period of time. And it's hard to have to go through. I mean, well, I guess it's hard enough to like go on social media right now and see all the stuff because it is really heartbreaking. But I think that we as a society are becoming stronger by like putting that stuff out there ourselves and like forcing ourselves to realize that this is the reality and it's not made up, and the only way that our TLs are going to get back to the way that it was is if change happens.
Like every single day, like it's to a point where I'm not saying I'm not affected, but I'm just like emotionally, like I'm just like, damn, again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think we're all at that. So it's like, at this point, it's just like anger, you know?
Like a lot of frustration, hella aggravated, like just, and there's nothing to do that we can do directly to stop it. And it just seems like the people that do have the power to stop it and to do like things to help just don't want to. And that's what's so heartbreaking and so frustrating. And that's why it, like, America needs to read a room. People, we can't hide from these injustices. Like, we see all this bad stuff happening, and like there are people that can fix it that just don't. Like, why doesn't that anger, like, why aren't you why aren't more people as frustrated with that? Like,
more so because I think like racism is a white people issue. And until white people see it as their problem and they're the source of the problem, that's when shit will start to get handled. Like, it's like not like, you know what I mean? And I feel like we could literally spell it out for them and they'll be like, nope, you're wrong.
Yeah. Or they'd be like, well, what if you spelled it like this? Like, no, there's only one way about it. And that's another like non-negotiable thing. Like, there's certain opinions that just, how do you justify that? And all the justifications are stupid. Like, it's just, if you want to be racist and you want to be a terrible person, just say that. We can try, and we can just let them know that they're wrong. But at the end of the day, people are gonna think and live by the delusions that they create.
Like, we took the responsibility of unlearning that and learning a different narrative. And I think that's really positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think that although like nothing may have changed, I'd say that the awareness has definitely changed.
People are definitely waking up.
Yeah, and it's nice to see like a lot of like white faces out there protesting.
Mm-hmm. That's good. The work needs to be done. And I think that we as a generation have the gusto to fix it and the willpower to fix it. And it's just going to take time. Obviously, nothing's going to happen overnight, but we just have to keep the momentum going. And if you're on your social media and you're getting overwhelmed and you lose your momentum, honestly, hide your Instagram app, delete your Instagram app or Twitter, at least for like a couple days, and then you'll want to go back and see if there's any updates, if anything has changed. And there might be good news, might be bad news, but you'll come back and your momentum will refill itself because you'll return to something that still isn't done.
And it's not even just like, I don't want people to just like take this the wrong way, but it's not just the cops. It's the people above the cops that are giving them orders that are corrupt. It's the people above them that are corrupt. It's the people in the courtroom that are corrupt. It's the racist nurses that are like not helping these people that are corrupt. You know what I mean? So it's the entire system that just needs to be redone. Like, we cannot avoid it anymore. I remember saying like, I don't want to be in that bullshit because I didn't want to represent that. But then it's also like, how do you expect anything to change if we avoid it? And then who else is going to take those jobs? White racists, because they want to keep their privilege. They want to keep their power. So of course they're going to study shit that benefits them, and then they got something to say about it. Like, I have a friend who wants to be a lawyer, and she's like, I don't want to like lose my case all the time, and like, you know what I mean? And I was like, well, how do you expect anything to change if like they don't have people like you in the system?
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, you know what, you're right. Now she's going to school for it.
Yeah, that's good. We have to start at the roots. We really do have to start at the roots. But I think it's easier to weed out people by ending it as a whole and then seeing who actually returns to those jobs with new rules and new like ways of processing and choosing people to take on these responsibilities that are supposed to be benefits for the public, like everybody, you know? So it's just we really just need to start all over, because I don't know. I don't want to be pessimistic because I'm still pretty optimistic, but like,
it's hard not to be, and that's why mental breaks are so important. Yeah. Especially like you're still in quarantine and like you're still locked in the house. And I know that there's other people that are still like living with people that are at high risk and they can't go anywhere. So all they have is their phones. Like, you know, you're not out there seeing what I see.
Yeah.
And like it can be really just negative and really heavy. So, but I think that you're looking at it with an optimistic view, even though like you feel pessimistic. Like you've been hanging in there.
Hang in there. Have to try to, you know, because there's no reason to give up, because, you know, I'm not in slavery. I'm not a slave. I have resources, you know. Obviously, like, certain things have gotten better. The system is out of the question, despicable. But you know, I think that we've come so far. Like, why give up now? You know, I think we're closer to the back end of racism than we were a few years ago, just because people are starting to realize, like, even if they commit it, like, I'm sorry, like, I don't want to be that way. Like, I think people are starting to take a good look in the mirror and really,
yeah, like, how do I benefit from this type of shit?
Yeah.
And I see how it's basically like pushing other people aside.
To be a large world power, I don't think it's about the power itself. I think it's the country as a whole being on the same page and all having the same beliefs and like fighting for the same things. I don't think we can be as strong as these patriotic people think we are, just because of our military and just because of, I think that's the only argument they have, is we have the strongest military. But like, who cares? It's all about greed. It's all about oil. It's all about trying to loot more resources. That's literally where we get in so much trouble, is because we're going in and stealing more stuff. Great. Runs in the damn family.
All man-made, like, I mean, not oil, obviously, but like capital is man-made. Like other shit is man-made. And obviously if it's not working, let's change it. Like, we can change it. It's not like a tree. It's not like it's nature. It's not like we were born here or born with it just like here before us. Like, no, like it's like we can unlearn it. If we can learn it, we can unlearn it. If we can create it, we can tear it down.
Yeah. And I think we just need some tears. We need some craft scissors and some highlighters and some paint. Maybe a little bit of glitter.
Or glue and build that.
We will look good as new. Shit.
Words in conclusion, read a room.
If you're not a bad person, you won't get offended by stuff.
Exactly. Like, there's no way to even be racist towards white people. Like, I know that, like, a lot of people were saying that, like, I guess, white face and white chicks, like, that's not even a real thing. And I promise no one was offended by that. There's no way that I'm even slightly offended by it. I'm offended that they didn't make another one. Like, you know what I mean?
Second one. Number 2, please.
Run it back.
What do you call it? But yeah, if you're in the space that we're all in, especially on social media, is very, very small in comparison to the world. And it's just a condensed view of like what everybody's going through right now. And we're not all watching the same news, but we're seeing a lot of the same things, and we're feeling a lot of the same hurt and mourning the same people. And a lot of us are fighting for the same thing. And if you're not, I don't think it's fair to flood the people that are fighting for something important to the world to blockade that. That's kind of how everything feels right now. And the few little laughs that we have, it's all kind of satire, because it's just like, shit is sad and ain't shit funny, but like, we gotta make it through this somehow. And
like saying a joke, or like, my OnlyFans is in my bio, and then I go to their bio and it's really like a petition link, and they were just yeah, I'm just like, fine, whatever way you got to get to your followers, because get them. I support it.
Get them, trap them, do it, make them sign it. Been real on the spill, and spill on the real. I'm Chone.
I'm Gigi.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I